A quick look at some charity shops this morning, and there's a new one in town. I haven't been in yet. Let's go and have a look. Well, the new charity shop was all very nice. Spent a good few minutes looking around. Nothing that really jumped out, or nothing that would make me any money, unfortunately. I went to 4 in total, picked up 10 DVDs for £1. I put them in bundles, got a few gaps to finish, it's full collections. Picked up this Xbox game, don't really know much about it, and a couple of PlayStation 1 games. They were all 50p, so they've got to be worth getting for that. Anyway, lunchtime, cup of tea, catch you in a bit, bye bye. So, just looking at some items I've picked, ready to pack. 6 bars of soap, got a whole bunch of them. I think they went for £5 or £6. I accepted an offer actually, so probably £5. An Olympus flash for an old SLR camera. I think that went for about £9 something. I'll put it up in a corner anyway. An ice cream maker. I've had a few offers for this. Bought it for £4. In the end, someone bought it for the full asking price. I think I've reduced it to £16 something. And a Chris Isaak CD I sold on Vinted for about £2.50. What a wicked thing to do. Oh dear. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning and I'm just off into town. Got a couple of errands to run. And then I'm going to go back to the office. Got some parcels to pack. Got some more racking to put up. And then I was going to probably have a cup of tea. I was going to look at Depop, perhaps have a look at listed on there. I know some resellers don't use Depop. I think it's called Depop anyway. But then again, I know some that do. What are your thoughts? And that got me thinking on other platforms, like eBid. I haven't used that for a long time. I've used it before, a couple of years ago I think, but does anyone bother on that? I haven't even looked at it for years. I'm going to have a look at that later as well if I'm bored. And that also got me thinking, back in the 90s when I was using online auctions, there was a site called QuickSell and it was like QXL. Must have been back in the 90s. Who remembers QuickSell? What happened to them? Let me know. See you in a bit. So this morning I'm continuing putting up some racking. You might notice a slight difference. I've gone for a different manufacturer provider for this one. Thought I'll give it a go before I place any orders for more. I'll definitely need more racking, so I'll see which ones are better. This one's got these little T-hole lugs for the shelves to go in. The shelves look a bit thicker too, so it might be a bit stronger. Anyway, we'll get that set up and then I'll work out which ones I prefer before ordering the rest. I need a few more along there and up there. And over here I'm going to get some much deeper racking, more heavy duty. They're a few £100 a piece, so yeah, I'm getting the small ones set up first and I'll work on this bit in a minute. Well, not in a minute, in the future, near future. There you go. I'm getting all my words mixed up. I must need a cup of tea. I think that's what it is. See you in a bit. Oh yeah, and back to this one, you even get a free pair of gloves. I might list those. See you in a bit. Let's do business. I think I'm trying to put 2 levels in here. Well, that was harder work than I imagined. It certainly seemed more difficult than the other rackings we put together. As you may have seen, I had a few difficulties. Or maybe you didn't see them because I've edited the video. I didn't want to show myself up in front of all my 11 subscribers. Anyway, let's go and see if I can put it to use. I was a bit disappointed actually because I started setting it up with shallower shelves, and then I realised I set it up for 6 tiers and not 5. Perhaps I can get an extra shelf and alter it all again, or I might have to just buy a whole new unit just to use one shelf. That would be annoying. Anyway, see you in a bit. Well, it will do for now. It's not ideal, but it does. Some of the boxes will be moved around and swapped over to different bits of racking anyway. Until I've got it all up, it's never going to be sorted and organised. But like I keep saying, we're getting there. A couple of little bits to be really geeky. I'm sure no one's really at all interested in the racking anyway, but it's a different shade of blue. You can't actually tell. This one's lighter than that one. One thing I don't like is the corners up here. So if I have boxes on the top, they could easily get damaged or ripped on there, whereas the original racking's a lot smoother. And another geeky thing that I'm not happy with are these holes, and I've been using them to bolt them together. I can't see a bit now, but I have been using these holes to bolt them together, and obviously on this slightly different racking it doesn't align. So I think I'll probably stick with the original racking. It's cheaper anyway, does the job. And like I said before, I'll be getting some bigger, more expensive racking for the items that I store over there. Anyway, enough of racking. I'm racking my brains to think of something else to talk about. Oh dear. See you in a bit.